Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 4, Episode 153. And got up incredibly early this morning, but didn't leave incredibly early. It was like 5 o'clock, and I was just kind of hanging out, laying around the house a little bit because I just, sometimes you need to be awake and not doing something instead of constantly be working and then sleeping. So you need to get some rest while you're awake as well. So I relaxed a little bit this morning, took my shower, took off for the day. Had a friend of mine reach out to me about a possible edge in a game, and we talked about that a little bit, and we might hit that either next week or 3 weeks from now, because I've got that cruise coming up. So we need to figure out how to make that work and get studied up on it and make sure everybody knows what their role is. And then we'll head out and hopefully hit that hard. Today is a hazy day. Thankfully, yesterday the weather helped a lot. As far as temperature-wise, the rain really helped stabilize things. Today the high is only going to be 90, but still between 90 and 100 for the heat indexes, which, believe it or not, is cool compared to the way that it's been the last few days. Air conditioner caught up last night and actually went off for a little while, which is nice. And right now outside it's only 74 degrees, so it might be hazy. It might be just like a haze out there, but there's almost no clouds in the sky right now. And we're heading off to our first casino, and I'm actually going to be happy when I leave the area for a week, because I feel like all eyes are on me right now, so it'll be nice to be away from the area for a while and not have casinos paying attention to me as much, give them a break. And I just wish that I could change which days I'm at the office and go out Monday and Tuesday when there might be some different pit personnel, but unfortunately that's not going to happen. So we're heading out to our first casino. As we're leaving that state, we'll be heading to a blackjack casino, and then one more blackjack casino, and then figure out where we are timing wise, and kind of add casinos as time permits. So again, we're trying to get some longer sessions. We're trying to get some bigger wins. And overall, the last couple of weeks have been really, really good. We just have to keep building on that without being too obvious about what we're doing. So, moving to the first casino, and I'll be back to update you soon. All right, guys, I am back. I got an email about 10 days ago from someone, and I've been meaning to add this segment for a long time. I just haven't had a chance to. I know I've talked about this in the past, and I just want to reiterate it, although a lot of people aren't going to care, but we're going to talk about it anyway. When you are a slot hustler, when you are a card counter, when you are taking advantage of something in the casino legally, even though what you're doing is legal, we don't want to bring attention to ourselves and what we're doing. It hurts you and it hurts other people potentially. So when you're checking slots, you don't want to walk up to a slot, push a bunch of buttons, walk away, go to the next one, push a bunch of buttons, walk away. You don't want to be obvious about it. If possible, you want to sit down, you want to make it look like you're doing the same thing that everyone else is doing. You can look at things, but don't be so obvious about it. I like to look around as I'm walking in and see where the slot techs are, see where the players are, and if possible, I like to try to avoid having a lot of people around me when I check machines. Sometimes it's not avoidable, but still you can sit down and you can look at something, and then you can stand up and leave. But standing up at a machine and just playing the keys like a piano and then walking away doesn't make a lot of sense, because you bring attention to yourself. Number one, from surveillance. Number two, from casino staff. Number three, you're bringing attention from ploppy players who may not know what you're doing, and they might say, what's this guy doing? let me watch him for a second. Oh, I see when he sees this, then that's good. Well, maybe he knows something, and it makes things worse and worse. So, yeah, I think I've mentioned it in the past, and it's so important to try to last as long as you can in an area. And I understand sometimes it's not your area, and you don't care. You're only going to be there for a minute, but still, you want to, have cover whenever you can. You don't want to be banned from a place. You don't want to have issues with a casino, and you don't want to blow it for other people who do what we do. So whenever possible, be as discreet as possible about what you're doing when you're checking a machine, if you're playing a carnival game, if you're counting cards. You don't want to make it, I remember, this is a while back here, and this person may be listening to this. And so I was at a casino, and I was supposed to be meeting with someone who had been there a day or so before and had a lot of chips. And I was supposed to meet him to get the chips and help him cash them or to buy them from him or something like that. And he gave me his description, and I gave him my description. And I'm sitting at a table playing blackjack, and he walks up to me at the table, and he goes, "Are you MW?" I'm like, "I don't know what you're talking about." "Are you the guy from Blackjack Apprenticeship?" I'm like, "I don't know what you're talking about." And he walked away, and I never hooked up with him to get the chips, and he never knew it was me, because I'm not going to out myself in front of everybody. Saying Blackjack Apprenticeship in a casino, I don't even text Blackjack Apprenticeship in a casino. I mean, you have to change your whole way of thinking about things. There's terms that I don't use in a casino. I use add. I can't add instead of I can't count. I mean, even just something as simple as the word count. I don't use the word count. I try to use words that are uneducated words instead of words that may be used by someone who knows what they're doing. I've even gone as far as never to practice shuffling chips with my hand. I just do it a generic way, like any ploppy would do. I don't do it at a poker table or anything. I don't even want to know how to do it, because I don't want to accidentally be sitting at a table and be shuffling the chips in my hand in a way that looks like I know what I'm doing. So that's how far I'll go. So try to use a little bit of discretion and some cover when you're at a casino, for yourself and also for everyone else. Right now I am about 35 minutes away from my first stop, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back, and I found a couple plays at this first casino. They were actually decent plays, but they just didn't pan out very well. So I ended up still making good money, but not as good as I would have thought. I played one play originally, and halfway through the play I had a nice big hit. I was ahead a couple hundred, and by the time the play finished out, I was only ahead about $70 or so. And then moved on to another one and lost about $20 on that one. Then another one, made about $20. So it was like just a lot of up and down, but not a lot of big profits. So when I first walked in, I saw the security manager standing there with his arms crossed, like in a spot that he could see half the machines I'm going to look at. And I walked up to him and said, "Hey, how's it going?" "Fine, what's going on?" And I said, "You look like you're about to bust somebody." And he's like, "No, I'm just being lazy. I'm just standing here, and I just don't want to walk around too much right now." So what does that tell us? That tells us that lots of times we worry about things that we shouldn't worry about. They're not even paying attention to what we think they are, because we're thinking in such detail about things, and they're not. They're thinking, "Well, I've been walking around for 2.5 hours. I'm just going to stand here and lean on something for a minute." And we're thinking, "Look at that guy. He's standing there leaning on that. I think he's checking out this machine to see who's going to look at it." So anyway, ended that session ahead $76. and we're continuing our trip. I had a little bit of problem with the air conditioning this morning, but it seems to be fine now. I know the part that needs to be replaced, but just haven't had the time to do it. So ice cold right now. Actually, I'm gonna have to turn it down a little bit because it's too cold. But continuing on here, traffic's pretty heavy where I am. I'm actually gonna put the next casino in the map. I normally wouldn't, because sometimes there's some traffic tie-ups in that area, and I may need to go a different way to get there. So I'm gonna let you go for now and do that, and I'll be back to update you. So you got to understand the people that we're dealing with here, how ridiculously stupid they can be sometimes. I heard a pit boss telling another pit boss, you can't sign in with Okta anymore. Starting next month, you have to use Microsoft Authenticator. Why would you say that in front of customers? Letting people know what kind of authenticator you use. I mean, it's still such a long shot for anything to ever happen, but why do you give information out to people for free with people who shouldn't know about it sitting there? I think it's absolutely nuts. That would never fly if I was in charge of a casino. Neither would all these stupid shutdowns to change carpets or to change lights or any of that stuff. You do that stuff in the middle of the night. But went to play blackjack and bought in for $300 on a $25 table, and I was going from one hand at 25 to one hand at 150, and just never got there. So might have gone higher than that, but never got there. It was all low all the way through, true 1, true 2 max. I got up to like $100, but that's really all I could do. Ended that shoe ahead 195. There was a guy next to me, and he was very pissed off because there's a smoking area, specialized area just for smoking, and it was closed, and he wanted to play there, and he's like, now I lost all my money, and the smoking area is still not open yet. And I'm like, whatever. But yeah, so I ended up doing okay there. Then I walked away because 3 guys came to the table, and we're going to play at the same time together. So decided to get up and leave, and he did too. I have a feeling he's going to go over to the smoking section. I'm going to head over there myself and see if a table is open, and I'll play over there as well. So that's what's going on right now. So far, plus 195, and I'll be back to update you. Just had an interesting yet somewhat scary experience for a minute there. The guy who was sitting at the table with me that wanted to play in that no smoking section, he goes over, I go to the no smoking section, nothing going on. And so I'm walking away, and I see him, and he's like, is it open? I said, no, they don't even have the cards out. It's going to be at least another 20 minutes. And he goes, how long you been playing blackjack? And I said, a long time. He goes, did you ever learn to count cards? And I said, why would I? I said, did I look like I knew how? And he's like, no. But he was playing the side bet every hand. He's like, it's just that, you know, sometimes when I see certain things come out, I have an inkling that my side bet might pay. And I'm like, oh, okay. So for a second there, I thought he saw me moving, because I was actually moving at a very granular level, like 1, 1.2, 1.4, 1.6 units, that small, because it was moving so slowly up and down that I just broke it down. It was a $25 table, so more than 25, 30, 35, you know, that way. And then once it gets to the bigger numbers, then it's easier to go 75, 100. But I always tried to have at least one red chip on top, so they don't see the bigger denominations on there. So anyway, that was interesting for a minute there to hear him asking that question. And then when I said, did it look like I did, he says no. But then he has no clue, because he's playing the side bet, and he's like, it's interesting to him, he said, that some people will play that side bet, but they don't take insurance when they should take insurance. And I'm like, you're very confusing to me here. You're saying that insurance is a better deal than that side bet, but you're playing the side bet. And is insurance a better deal? Do you know anything? So anyway, that's where we are right now. Nothing else is open, unfortunately. So right now we're just walking around looking at the same things over and over again until some more tables open up. So that's what's going on right now, plus 195 on that table. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back and had a decent session there, actually. I talked to you about the $195 session. I talked to you about the guy who was talking to me as he was leaving. He was disgusted that he had to go to his car to smoke. And then, let's see. So after that, I looked around, couldn't find anything. Looking at slots, nothing. Tables, nothing was open. Walked around, spent another 20 minutes walking around, couldn't find anything to play. Finally, I find a table that I want to play. I go over to it, and I'd gotten by this table earlier in the day, but it was it was in the middle of a shoe, so I just waited. And when I went back over there, then all of a sudden everything was good. I sat down, I bought in for $500. Within 2 minutes, I had my hand in my pocket, reaching for money, and I win that hand. 2 minutes later, I'm reaching in my money for my pocket for money, and I win the hand. And it kept on going like that. I was bouncing along the bottom, minus 400, minus 350, somewhere in there for a long time. And then we had a really nice pickup on the count, and between there, which was about a third of the way through the shoe, and the end of the shoe, I went from being down about 400 to being up $1,350, so plus $1,350 at that table. And as I was leaving, one of the pit bosses wanted to talk to me, and I'm like, oh boy. He's like, see what you did there? That's what you got to do. I'm like, what's that? He goes, it has nothing to do with betting at the right time. It has to do with leaving. I'm like, okay. He's like, every time I go to Vegas, when I'm ahead, let's say I play a table and I'm ahead $900, as soon as that happens, I get up, I go to the pool, I go walk with my wife. What the pit boss is telling me. And I'm like, oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. So, whatever, if he's happy with that, I'm happy with that, because that means I don't have any heat from this guy, right? He's trying to give me advice and helping me, and trying to guide me to do the right thing so I don't lose my money. And this other guy came by who I've always thought suspected me of doing something, because he's always looking at me when I'm playing, like staring at me. So I'm always worried about this guy. It might just be this beautiful hair. I don't know. It could be. But so anyway, he comes by and he just listens for a minute and walks away. Anyway, and then I cash out, and then I cash out my voucher, which at that point I think was plus 49, something like that. And as I'm leaving, I see someone playing this game, and it's in a really good spot. And so I stand behind him, pretend I'm playing on my phone and stuff, doing stuff. And it looks like it's about to pay him, then it doesn't. Looks like it's about to pay him, then it doesn't. He puts 20 more in, that doesn't work. Puts 20 more in, doesn't work. And then he walks away. I walk up, I put 4 $5 bills in there, and on my 6th or 5th spin, it hits. And I'm looking around, make sure that he doesn't see me. It pays me like, I had like $46 or something like that on that machine, for a total of $95 that I was ahead on slots. So blackjack plus $15.45 at that spot, and slots plus 95. And we're moving on to another casino, and I'll be back to update you soon. Alright guys, I am sitting in this parking garage right now, and I'm not going into the casino because one person that I worry about in there leaves in 5 minutes. So I'm going to hang out here for a few more minutes, and then I'm going to take my time and mosey in there, and hopefully they're not working today, or they left by the time that I get in there. If not, then maybe an early day because I may have to leave, but hopefully not. So we'll see. And I heard rumors that this person doesn't work here anymore, but I'm not sure yet. So Better to be safe and wait for 5 minutes than take the chance. So yeah, that's what's going on. I mean, I'm happy so far today. I'd love to make another 500 or 600 today. Make, you know, a nice couple thousand for the day would be really nice. So that's what's going on right now. Just waiting in the parking lot, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I am back. Just leaving this casino, and some entertaining stuff going on in there. That casino is very warm right now, uncomfortably warm. I walked around and looked at slots first, and this is a pretty active area as far as people checking machines, so I didn't expect to find too much, and I wasn't disappointed. I didn't find too much. Actually did 2 plays. One of them was about 50 cents a spin, and I made $21 on that one, and then had another play and played that one through as well. And did I put it in the chart already? I did not. I ended the slot session. I had $31. So let me just put it here. Plus 31. And then I did play some blackjack. I only found one table with reasonable rules, and sat down, started playing, and that area was so warm. I couldn't believe how hot it was. It had to be mid 80s to low 90s in that room. And I don't really play this place very often, but as soon as I walked up, Pit Boss comes over and says, "No card, right?" And I'm like, well, I guess you remember me. So no card. So I bought in for $500 initially, and actually I bought in for $500 total. Couldn't get anything going. I get a blackjack, dealer gets 2 blackjacks, I get a 20, lose to 5 cards, back and forth. Count never really got anywhere either. Whoa, what's going on here? Casino exit is completely packed now. It looks like, oh my goodness, it looks like miles of cars. Something must have happened, or there must be some event starting right now, because wow, I'm on the highway here, and I'm at least 2 miles away from the casino, and still I'm seeing people lined up for the exit. So that's crazy. But I ended up back and forth for a long time, couldn't get anything going, low counts, and ended up finally leaving the table sweltering hot, plus $125 only, and that was it. So plus 125 on the blackjack, plus 31 on the slots. And I was back in that room, and I was talking to the dealer. I said, it's warm, isn't it? And she's like, no, I don't think so. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's so hot in here. So I said to the pit boss, you got the heat on? He goes, yeah, you got the heat on. And I'm like, did I hear that the right way? You got the heat on? I got the heat on? I don't know what the heck he's saying, but anyway, I was gone minutes after that anyway, so no big deal, no harm done. And right now we are moving on to another casino. All of a sudden the clouds have rolled in. You got an angry sky looking at us here, so hopefully the weather's not too bad, and we're going to need to stop again for fuel, so we're going to do that next, and then we'll continue on to our next casino. Overall, good day. I mean, what's the most I bought in today? 500, and we're up a couple thousand almost, so you can't beat that. So all right, moving on, I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. I went into that casino and just found a couple plays. I mean, it was already cleaned out, and in fact, while I was there, I saw a new guy come in I'd never seen before. Tall, skinny, blonde kid. I'd never seen him before, and he was walking around looking at things like he'd been there before, so he probably just comes in at different times than me. But I was too late, and he was really too late, because I had already cleaned out what was there. I found 2 decent plays, 3 decent plays, and just made a little bit on each of them, and I ended my session ahead $128. And then I saw a guy who people say is an AP, but he's like, look at this machine right here. It's gonna hit soon. I'm like, there's nothing here. He's like, look at the jackpot. I'm like, yeah, it's $1,060. It resets to 1,000. Just because you see something over 1,000 doesn't mean it got there from $50 or something. You got to know where it starts and how high it goes. Is there a cap on it? How fast it goes up? All that stuff. So, and he's like, well, it's only $2 a spin. You should play it. I said, no, thank you. And I said, do you play? He goes, no, I can't afford that. Well, yeah, you can't afford $2 a spin because you're not playing things the right way. So, yeah, I talked to him just for a minute, and I was going to get something to eat, but I really haven't been that hungry today. All I had so far was one of those shakes. It's like 160 calories. I had some electrolytes in the morning, a couple pieces of beef jerky, so I'm like under 300 calories probably today. So I don't know what my deal is. Not very hungry. Maybe the heat, maybe all the gambling, I'm not sure. But I am going to stop somewhere here in a little while and get some food. I'm not really sure what. You know, the last time I got a good meal while I was playing was when I hit $500,000. I have no idea how long ago that was. That was probably like a year ago, a year and a half ago. Must have been close to 2 years ago that I had a decent sit-down meal, and even that wasn't that great. It was like one of those quickie Chinese restaurants, you know, but where they actually bring it to the table though. But it's one of those still quickie Chinese restaurants. We used to have one in town that was so cheap. It's like, how do you make food that cheap? We used to call it the cheap Chinese. But yeah, so we're gonna stop here in a little bit, get some food, relax, and then we'll continue our trip from there. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. So let's do our segments here. What did you eat today, MW? I'm going to tell you what I'm going to eat. I called home, or I texted and talked to my wife, and she said we're going to have bacon tonight. Nice bacon. I put that on a nice salad with some blue cheese dressing. Oh, mama, that's going to be delicious. So we're going to have some bacon tonight. My mouth is watering just thinking about it, and I'm gonna have to rate that between a 10 and a jack. I mean, it is really delicious. Some nice thick cut peppered bacon on a nice like iceberg lettuce, blue cheese dressing with blue cheese crumbles and bacon. Oh man, that's so delicious. So that's the food part. And what did you tip today, MW? Well, let's go through real quick. I hope I didn't already do this stuff here. I don't think I did. The first session today, I bought in for 300, right? Yeah, and I cashed out for 795. So, yeah. So I made 495 profit on that one, and that one I tipped $0. But the second one though, that one was much better. I mean, that first one was a really good session, but the next one was an excellent session. And considering I leave when I'm ahead 500 or 700 or so, or at the end of the shoe, this one was really special. It was plus $1,350, and so on that one I tipped $0. And then the last one was kind of a quicker one, kind of a place I don't like that much. It was hot, it was sweaty in there. So that one I made $125, and I tipped $0. So $0 in tips today. And what did you learn today, MW? I'm gonna have to think about this for a second here. What did I learn today? We learn something every day, right? So what did I learn? Give me a second to think about this. Hold on one second. I don't know why it took me so long to even think about it. 2 seconds after I paused the podcast, it came to me. You always need to keep learning and improve yourself. And whenever you think you know everything, that's when you really need to go out and dig and find something else. So what I learned is there's this opportunity that's coming up, and I don't know everything about how to beat the opportunity. So obviously I haven't done enough research. I haven't listened to enough podcasts or seen enough videos or read enough books or listened to enough books. So we're going to focus on that tonight after dinner and everything. We're going to go pay our bills, make sure everything is caught up. I'm going to get my BJ21 stuff in, and then we're going to focus on this play and how to make the most money the most intelligent way that we can. So I will talk about the play once it's over, and I'll let you know what it was, but not until after there's no more possibility that I can make money on it. We don't need to burn it the day before I get there. So and that's really what's going on. Got fuel a little while ago, just stopped at the church I like to go to sometimes. I go every like 2 or 4 weeks to this place, other than what I do on Sunday. It's because this is a special place for me, and so I went in there and did my thing there. And right now we're heading home to some nice bacon salad with blue cheese, like a wedge salad kind of. And we'll catch up more tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Friday already? Oh man, Friday. I hate Friday. Hate Friday because I have to go to the office, check in, and sneak out before the receptionist gets there. And I'm really starting to think I need to do that maybe twice a week, Wednesday and Friday, because my team is there on Thursday. If I did it Wednesday and Friday, I know it adds an extra hour to my day each day, but then in case someone says, I thought you worked on Friday, I was there. Oh no, I was there Wednesday this week. And either way, I was there both days. So I'm going to consider that, but not right now. So we'll be at the office first thing in the morning, check in, and then we'll go do our normal thing that we do, and hopefully make some more money. Hopefully continue the sun run that we've had lately. Excited about it, very happy, and hopefully it keeps going until at least until we get to the cruise and after the cruise, because that's when some big stuff is going to be happening as well, with Vegas and everything coming up. So for now, I'm going to let you go. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time. All right, real quick, made a mistake. That first blackjack session plus 195, not 495. See you next time.